guys, welcome to episode 1 of the Josh and Sergey Weekly. I am Josh, he is Sergey, and Sergey, how you doing today?
Good. It's a good day. We are almost at the end of the week, so it's always good to share some of the takeaways and what we did well and what we didn't do well this week.
For sure. So just a really quick background. Sergey and I are both trying to grow our own brands online. I run Solopreneur Grind, trying to help individuals kind of break out of the 9-to-5 and start their own service companies. Sergey also doing a lot in the digital marketing space, and he helps people with marketing and strategies and stuff like that himself, as well as has some other online courses and things like that. And what we really want to do with this weekly video show for those watching on YouTube and audio podcast for those listening on your devices, whatever they may be, is basically bring you along every week. We're going to chime in for 15, 20 minutes, tell you a little bit about what we're working on, what's working for us, what's not working for us, our thoughts, our insights, very kind of digital marketing focused and stuff like that. So with that in mind, Sergey, how has your week been? What have you been working on? What's top of mind right now?
It's been good. This week, I was working on helping a few clients with LinkedIn strategy. So things like optimizing their profiles, finding the right people who we can target from the outbound perspective, and then get more business. So just designing templates, understanding how to not look salesy on the LinkedIn. So make the reach out more as a nurture. Just give people value, share the content. So I was working on that part. I was also learning some of the latest strategies for Instagram and Facebook, which is pretty cool to implement for my own brand. And that was just took me quite a bit of time, and also preparing for a lot of podcasts for next week. So it's been good.
Right. And do you want to just tell everyone, I mean, first episode, it's going to be a little bit of intro-y just to give you guys some perspective. Like, what's the main focus right now? What are you trying to accomplish? What clients are you going after?
So my goal is to find small CEOs of ideally consumer businesses, so up to 50 employees.
Like short CEOs, small CEOs, or like?
Yeah, so good point. CEOs of small businesses,
right.
And help them with their Facebook, help them with their Instagram, and with their marketing strategy, because what I've seen is that there's so many people who have no idea how to get the most out of it. And an example that I've seen this week is somebody who I'm working with. He's got like a ton of articles on his website, and they're not posted on LinkedIn. So that just in super low hanging fruit that can be utilized in the right way. So for me, it's finding more clients, helping them with Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, maybe content strategy, maybe the right email template so they can get more business. That's the focus number one. And the second one is put in more episodes like that so we can build more audience and the following and share advice and just bring value to our listeners.
Right. Very cool. Do you have any, just because I know you have a lot of experience specifically with LinkedIn, which I think is probably underutilized by a lot of people, myself included. Do you have any like 1 or 2 quick tips? Because I know you're helping me with this, and
Right.
It's something I haven't used that much, and especially people maybe in the B2B space, or
Right.
they're targeting professionals that are on LinkedIn. Do you have like 1 or 2 quick tips, and then we can kind of get more into the general stuff?
Yeah, so with LinkedIn, generally what's important is to optimize your profile. So have a headline that highlights the areas that you work in that are explained in a simple language, so other people can understand exactly what you do. So that's going to be very important, because you can put a lot of keywords in, and that will help LinkedIn to rank you better in search results.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will also help when you are reaching out to the right people. They will see what your title is, and if it's compelling enough, their chances of them accepting your request are higher. So for example, a lot of people will say, I'm a business owner. Well, the problem with that is business owner doesn't really tell us anything. Like, it doesn't
Hmm.
really tell what you're working on. Instead, if you are in a business of being in marketing, it's so much better to say, I'm a marketing director. And that already tells people, okay, that means that he or she's working in marketing. Now you put a dash next to it, and then you say more specifically, because marketing is such a broad spectrum, what are you doing exactly? And then you can say, well, I'm working on lead generation. Perfect. Now people know more. Okay, so you are bringing leads. So you could put another dash next to it and say, I'm doing it. So you can say Facebook, comma, LinkedIn, comma, Instagram. So now people have a much clearer idea. You are working in marketing. You are bringing leads, and this is how you're doing it. Another part is to put in some sort of a validation of how, like, what is the validation? Is there social proof to what you're doing? Those could be, I'm have reviews on Yelp, or I'm highest rated on Yelp, or I helped 50 clients, or I grew clients on average by 20% per year. Something that is short, but something that will really catch attention of other people, and they will be like, wow, that's something that I want to reach out to that person. Because what's going to happen, people don't really have time to jump into your profile and read all this stuff. They want to make
Right.
it very quickly. The title is the simplest way. So I would say optimizing your headline, or optimizing your headline and the title, and then having a good picture. When you say picture is, you focus on your face. So the biggest part of the picture on LinkedIn should be your face, and it should be a face with a no distraction background, and you're smiling like I do right now. So that is important. That is really important. People judge other people by facial expressions a lot more than other people realize. It's a subtle thing, but it works. And providing a simple summary would be very important. Like, simple summary, here's what I'm doing right now, here's my specialty. So that's one part, optimizing your profile. Another part is what are you trying to, who you're trying to connect with, and finding out those people through search, and then just send them the connection request and, hey, I'm in the same industry, here's what I'm doing, would love to connect. And then you
Yeah.
could nurture those people later for either a sale, or either maybe a service that you're trying to provide. So that will be the first steps that you can take on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I feel like LinkedIn's now been around for a little while, but it's still like in such an infancy stage in terms of people making use of it. I think it's slowly catching up, but still very underutilized by a lot of people, myself included. Very cool. So let's
Yeah.
move on to some more practical stuff that we've been kind of trying, implementing, struggling with. Do you have anything to talk about with that?
Yeah, I think with the challenges, the challenge is always when you are building your brand and you are putting a lot of content on different platforms like Instagram, Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, maybe Medium. How do you drive people, and where you drive them, and what is the call to action that is consistent with what you want? So, for example, if you want people to do a phone call with you, then do you put a phone call to action everywhere, or it's different based on the platform? And then if it is, then how do you channel those people so you get not only value for them, but also you get opportunity to talk to them? Or if it's a different call
Yeah.
to action, then you like have to figuring out how to drive people to the right one place. That's, I find, a challenge, and I think you've did mention it as well this morning.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good thing to consider as the number of platforms grow and as marketing strategies get more and more complex, right? Because 10
Right.
years ago, it was like, oh, we're just posting on Facebook, like maybe, I don't know when Instagram came around or when LinkedIn got popular, but now there's so many platforms with so many people, so it makes it possible to include a lot of them in your strategy. So
Yeah.
for example, we're both posting content on Instagram, on Facebook, now on YouTube. So how do you tie it all in together? What's the strategy? So what I would say in your case, well, I
Right.
guess it's not your case because you were giving an example,
Yeah.
but so first of all, figure out what is your end goal, right? If your end goal is to get someone on the phone, then you definitely you want to point them towards a landing page or a web page or something where you can kind of explain to them and hear from them about whether they'll be a good fit. Because it's not actually about, I want to get as many people on the phone as possible. It's, I want to get as many targeted people on the phone as possible that could be clients, right? If you're not my ideal client, then I'm wasting your time and my time if we get on the phone.
Right.
So it's like, figure out your ideal customer, figure out what you want them to do, and now let's build this whole strategy around getting them there. So one thing that I like to consider when thinking about where to post content, because there are so many options, is a mix of what's a platform that's just like a really awesome fit and I really like, and like where my content belongs, with a mix of one or two platforms that maybe aren't the perfect fit but are great at generating organic traffic. And what I mean by that is, if your content is all perfect for a blog and let's say for a podcast, and you're just doing those two, it's going to take some time to get organic traffic, right? Because like your blog has to go through the Google algorithm, or people have to organically hear about your podcast, because like you're not going to come up high in the searches because you start off being a nobody. But if you're using something like, if you're mixing in something like Instagram or YouTube, where you could do highly targeted either hashtags or SEO for the YouTube search, or paid ads on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, whatever, those are ways that you can get organic traffic a little bit quicker. So I like to think it's like a combo of the two. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I think what happens is, there's, when you post your stuff on the platform, like if we specifically talk about blogs, if you post it on the website, it's going to take like 10 years for somebody to notice it. But if you post it on Medium platform, where everybody posts their blogs, it's what can happen. If you put the right hashtags, you have a compelling article, it can be a little bit clickbaity, that's okay. It's amazing what can happen. And I've had a few articles that I wrote completely random just because I enjoy it, about mobile phones and Google versus Apple. And it got so much traction, and people reached out to me like, hey, can I republish this? And I said, of course. They republish it to a much bigger audience, and then it really takes off. So that, in that way, and then essentially, which is what's funny, I Google my name and just do an SEO test, the Medium comes up first, where and it's because those two blogs or three blogs happen to be extremely popular. So I think it also really depends on the type of platform. You can take off very quickly. With the audio, might be a little bit more difficult, but still, if you are engaging with the audience and you encouraging them to leave reviews, that could be a very, very good start. Having one or two reviews, it's an excellent start. And then having a quality content and providing value is important. But in terms of choosing the platform, I think it goes a lot to do with what type of content you can produce well enough. Like if you are good in video, then do video, or if you're good with blogs and Medium, that's Medium and LinkedIn for sure. You got to be like doing that part a lot. And then also, where are the people you will be targeting? That would be another important part. Like if we are talking about services, small business CEOs, then Instagram probably going to be a great place. Facebook is going to be awesome. Maybe some other platforms. So I think those will be really important to consider, and you touched on those. And in terms of call to action, honestly, I think there's no right or wrong answer. If you are doing like a podcast, the call to action could be, hey, leave a review. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the call to action is so situational, right? It depends what you want. Are you trying to sell something? Are you trying to get them on a call? Are you trying to grow your email list? So that's definitely situational, I would say. But and that just, it all goes back to like one of our favorite themes, because we talk business a lot, which is you got to test, right? There's no perfect, even if you know what you're trying to sell or ask them to do, the only way you're going to find the best call to action is to test a couple different ones.
Right.
So that's really what it comes down to, I'd say, with almost everything, right? In digital marketing, there's no right answer until you test, like you said, with Medium. When I was putting up blogs for my firm, I would write the blog, post it on my website, copy paste it, post it on Medium, copy paste it, post it on LinkedIn, because it's all the same stuff, and I don't know where it's going to take off from. I have no idea, so I might as well test all three. It took 5 minutes, and with apps and software now, you could probably do it automatically, but I'm just behind the times. So
and it also, I find, your case, it made sense. Usually it's not a good idea to copy paste because you want to be contextual per platform, but I find with LinkedIn it makes so much sense. Medium makes so much sense. So you're not losing anything out. You're just multiplying the reach for your customers.
Yeah, I mean, that's an easy one. If you're blogging, you should definitely throw them on LinkedIn and Medium because why not? It takes an extra few minutes.
But you could be also strategic with that. But that meaning that's more, we can, I think we can.
That might be another episode. Yeah. Yeah. So Sergey, I think you got to run soon, but
Yes.
So quick first episode, guys, appreciate you chiming in. Basically we'll do this, I think, every Friday. Like I said, it'll be, 15, 20 minutes, bit of a state of the union. What are we up to? What are we thinking about? What are we doing for our businesses? And some updates on how things are going.
Yeah, this is Josh and Sergey Weekly. Guys, leave a review, leave a comment. If you have any questions or anything you'd like us to talk about, let us know. We are going through a lot of stuff every single day, and we usually we will be picking the stuff that is the most impactful for our business, and obviously that we think will be helpful for you. But if there's anything we can touch on, let us know.
Awesome.